Welcome to the Temple Within the Sacred Foundations. This is a micro mini module to help you reconnect to God, what it means to live a God centered life, and the 5 pillars that make up the Temple Within Sanctuary. So, for lesson 1, we will be discussing what it means to live a God centered life without religious dogma. So, this is perfect for people who have been harmed by religion, have religious trauma, and or people who are turned off by the extreme ideologies of the church. So I want to let you know that even Jesus Christ existed and was witnessed outside of the church and knew and said that the church was mostly confinement to shove us in a box and to control us, and that his truth exists outside the church. So this is the perfect place to start and to really set the tone for the work that we're going to do within the temple within and the wisdom that you will connect to when you devote yourself to God and living a God-centered life. So the theme of lesson 1 is rebuilding trust in God and self after spiritual disconnection, whether it's religious trauma or even just the enemy at work, and how the system oppresses us and keeps us disconnected from God and from our inner wisdom. So, this is healing on so many levels. So, I want to talk about how being God centered doesn't mean that you're following religious rules. It means that you're living from a sense of inner alignment with the divine source, with God's truth, because that wisdom exists within you always. You are always connected to God because God exists within you. The body is the temple, and via the temple, you live the way and the life, which is the embodiment of God and what Christ was trying to teach us. So, this work is for those who've been burned by the church or disillusioned by dogma, yet still ache for a holy, intimate connection with the sacred, with your highest self and your highest purpose. So, by going through this training, you are activating your highest timeline, your highest frequency, and embodying what it means to be God centered. So, you don't have to earn your way back to God. You are always forgiven. You never have to prove yourself to Him. He loves you unconditionally, and He has always been with you, whether you were willing or not, or you've been shoving Him down or ignoring Him your whole life due to your programming or whatever, or your family's beliefs, or even scrutiny by others, and how atheism is a product of religious trauma primarily. So you are never removed. You are always whole and healed on your own, and God is there to remind you of that once you are willing to embrace Him and His truth. So we rebuild this trust not by striving, but by surrendering to truth, to presence, and to divine rhythm, which is nature, and the divine unfolding of your life and divine timing. So it gets rid of instant gratification, and it repels the enemy from getting into your mind and speaking over God. His voice is drowned out. And when you devote yourself to his life and being a steward of this earth and embracing your dominion, you are living in congruence with what is holy and what is natural for you as being a spiritual being. So living God centered is less about doing and more about becoming, and aligning every thought, decision, and expression with the quiet knowing that you are held and divinely protected and divinely guided, and that you just need to trust in God and His divine timing for you, because everything that you go through in your life is your purpose. Even when you are ignoring God or shoving Him away or turning away from Him, that is all part of His will to simply get you through each phase of life and trying to bring you closer to Him and His truth. So, unfortunately, sometimes you have to go through hell in order to be returned back to God to find heaven. You have to know that hell exists in order to know that heaven also exists. So, you are held by God. So it's time to embrace the temple within. And it's not a place, it's a posture, it's alignment. So when you live with God first and you put Him ahead of every decision you make and you rely on His teachings and the Word of God, you no longer have to force, you no longer have to know every action that you need to take. You take things one step at a time, and God is holding your hand at the same time, walking you with Him. And He is with you always, and He loves you unconditionally. So these lessons are very micro, very short and to the point to really drive home the simplicity of these concepts and what we are going to explore in the temple within. So I want you to reflect on what beliefs about God or yourself are you willing to lay down at the gate of this temple. This is the threshold. This module is the threshold between where you were and where you're going with God. So, what are you willing to lay down at the gate of this temple as you embrace this new chapter? Reflect on that, and I'll see you in the next video.